Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's get stuck into the two main big bad boys, Bitcoin and Ethereum. We'll have a bit of an overview of the market as well. So starting off with Bitcoin, that was a nice move down into basically just wicking below a 21 exponential into the 50 exponential on the daily. And look, the bounce has taken us so far above all moving averages, completely all moving averages. And if we get a closure today with this Chiku span above this cloud, so it's got to be $68,000. There's your pump signal basically. And what we saw yesterday might be nothing other than a liquidity grab. Now, it's worth recognising, to be fair, that the stock market is having a bit of a hard time. There's daily S&P coming down below a 50 exponential. To be fair, Fridays often get bought back up, just as a counter move. But the weekly does also look like it's heading down to that first major target that we had highlighted, which is 5,300. Doesn't mean it has to happen, today. But it does look like the tides are turning on the S&P, and we're having that major pullback now to the centre of the Bollinger Band, which from top to bottom is 7%. Obviously, the Nasdaq will emphasise that it's a more volatile market. And so, look, it is what it is. There is nothing else to say about that. That is the situation with the stocks. We saw this 1, 2, 3, up and away. 1, 2, 3, maybe up and away. Now, just like any strategy, it's not foolproof. If we do lose this area, then it does get quite nasty. You would be looking for a full on retrace back down to 5,000, a nice horizontal level that you could keep in the back of your mind. 5,000, I can handle that. It's a nice round number. I can handle that. But on a moving average basis, it's just below 4,987, and then we've got this major area over here, which could be seen, but we're talking way ahead. We're not looking for anything unless there's something going on in the world, that might cause that to happen. The weekly. It's still in favour of bullish moves. Simple strategy, Bollinger Band strategy would apply, while above the Bollinger Band centre. 65% more likely to remain above the Bollinger Band centre, which is not the greatest odds, but they are favourable odds. So that is a Bitcoin, that is S&P. We're waiting for the pump signal. We'll get that above the 68,000. So let's have a think about Ethereum, because Ethereum took a big dive. It took a real big dive, actually. And from the top to the bottom of this pullback, it was quite nasty, 13.5%. So at the moment we're bouncing from a retest of that 200 exponential. Now we saw this sort of thing not too long ago, and it didn't hold at all. It was not too happy at all. My fear is, and again, it's not a fear. It's not a fear. My I suppose what I think is happening here is that people getting excited about ETFs and stuff like that. Oh, Ethereum ETF, don't miss out. Don't miss out on the ETF. And it's just one of those things, isn't it, really? You can't trade ahead of that. Any event like Ethereum ETF, the sensible buyers would have thought about that a year in advance. Just like the halving, you buy into that like a year in advance. Any major event gets way back allocated for that. You don't buy into it, or you shouldn't be buying into it, in anticipation for an event taking place in the coming weeks or months, really. So that is what I think has happened, and then because it was overextended, it came down quite hard, and it's been vulnerable to the market, to be honest with you. Bit of an underperformer, and based on this chart, we can't even apply the Bollinger Band strategy in a bullish light, really, because we're still below the centre being 3,300. Take itself to the weekly, and the weekly had a nice retest of what is basically a golden cross retest a few weeks ago, and so far we're trying to hold above that 21 exponential moving average on the weekly. Still not the greatest looking thing I've ever seen in the world, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. If the market wants to move, the market should move as one. But what's bad for Ethereum is often bad for altcoins, especially altcoins that are on Ethereum, so we've got to be careful with that. So let's have a think about the total too. What did that do? So the weekly currently is looking like an Ethereum chart, really. We're above a 21 exponential, we're below a 20, so you can apply both sides of the bull-bear spectrum there. Nice retest on a 200 exponential yesterday, which is a golden cross retest, and if that is going to be a valid situation, a valid setup, a V-shaped recovery is quite likely, back up to 1.8 trillion. 1.08 trillion, that would be. So that is a realistic expectation, to be honest, to see a V-shaped recovery back up to the area that was most recently lost. Whether it continues from there, we'll have to judge it day by day. But this isn't a bearish chart at the moment. This is not bearish. It's got lower highs, it's got lower lows, but as far as the overall trend is concerned, this is still very much a bullish trend. Are we consolidating still? Maybe. And if we are consolidating, you don't want to be losing this area, because that does add more risk to actually getting stuck below it and trending down, not just to the bottom of the accumulation range, which is what this is. This is generally an accumulation range, which is why I've been accumulating within it. But if you lose the accumulation range, you do start to see some big moves down. And obviously, this is a very small scale when you're talking about altcoins. This is an overview of the market cap of altcoins, including stable coins. And so if we were to, let's just say, lose this area here, we came all the way down to the bottom of the trend line there, we'll be looking for another 10% move back down before we find a decent support. 10% on a total 2 might mean 30, 40 or 50% move down for some of the more vulnerable altcoins, so just got to be aware of all of that. However, me, like I say, been in 50% cash position since accumulating in this area. Started off with about 75%, moved into a 50%, so that's quite a large allocation throughout this period. And obviously you all know why I believe that this is an accumulation period. It's based around time. It's not based around a particular fractal outside of the time component, but it is about time. And that is why I'm looking at this area as just a bit of a boring, because it is boring, trading range. We could scrape these lows, we could even come down lower, but over the next year we should be finding our way higher and higher and higher. And I am not here to tell you that we're going to hit a $5 trillion market cap. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you now that I believe that this area is a good opportunity for those who want to allocate into crypto. And if you've got the balls and the emotional capability to handle sitting in crypto for perhaps a year with the expectation of a breakout later on, maybe at the end of this year, certainly into next year, then you'll be looking back at this and going, oh, I should have bloody done that. I was just too scared because there was so much red. One day it was up, the next day it was down, the next day it was up, the next day it was down. Nothing was happening for a period of months, and I decided to give up on the market altogether. Well, that's fine as well. You've got to have conviction in the market, otherwise there's no point in being in it. You've got to trust at least your own analysis. Don't listen to me. I'm just one person on the internet. There's plenty of versions of me with all different opinions, but this is more than an opinion for me. This is my livelihood. This is my living. So whether you believe that is something you can trust in, obviously I trust it enough to allocate into it, but that doesn't mean you should. Bloody hell. Look, there's career criminals out there. You don't go robbing banks because you saw somebody else successfully rob a bank, do you? No way. No. So, look, your money, your choice. There's no wrong answers here. If you find that this market is too much for you to handle, then don't bother with it, all right? It's the best way to think about it. If you can't handle it, don't do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not for everyone. Some people can't handle their emotions, and that's fine. It's human nature. If you're obviously probably at that point playing with money that you can't afford to lose, and if you can't afford to lose it, don't risk losing it. Simple as that. Right. But overall, this is my expectation. And all this stuff that's going on at the moment is volatile. It's volatile, definitely volatile. But it's just day to day, bit by bit. Up one day, down the next day, large moves either side. It can be traded, but personally, I'm looking to just sit into this market now and settle in. And if we do go down lower, I will see it nothing more than an opportunity that I'd look to allocate more altcoins from lower positions, because I do strongly believe that it's all going to work out very, very well. Anyway, there's not much more to say. I am doing a Patreon live stream tonight. If you choose to join the Patreon, there's links in the description below. We can look at as many altcoins as we have time for in that 2-hour period. But other than that, if there is an altcoin out there that really is something different, and it has to be different, like an XRP chart or a Pepe chart, those charts are different. Most altcoins are just doing the same as all the other altcoins. They are carbon copies of each other at this point now. The market has taken all the fun out of those. The vast majority of altcoins look identical from a technical analysis perspective. Some altcoins are different, like I say, XRP surprisingly being one of them, and Pepe again surprisingly being another. Two altcoins to the polar opposites of each other. We've got a super meme coin, we've got a super boring coin, but actually, I present very good charts to you by looking at these. These are good charts, and they're different to the vast majority of charts, which, to be fair, like I said, boring and not doing their own thing. They are just moving with the market. They're like leaves in the river, just drifting around together. Whereas we've got Pepe and XRP, which are the salmon moving against the stream. That's a good analogy, and that's what's going on right now. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Maybe I'll see you tonight on the Patreon. Otherwise, take it easy.